Hey everybody, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this swirl crochet baby blanket. And to make this blanket, you want to use a 5mm hook or a size H hook for the US. Also, I used 5 skeins of worsted weight yarn, which is 4 ply for the US or 10 ply for Australia. Each skein was 100 grams or 3.5 ounces or 210 meters or 330 yards. The size of my blanket lengthwise measured 39 inches or 100 centimeters, and width it measured 36 inches or 92 centimeters. And my gauge for this afghan was 3 stitches per inch and about 3 inches, so it's about an inch every row too. These are double crochets. The multiples of this stitch are 24 plus 6 if you're chaining, and if you're doing double crochet foundation stitches, then do 24 plus 4. And what I mean by the multiples being 24 means that every 24 inches every 24 chains is essentially a block of the pattern. So 24, 24, 24. You want to do multiples of 24. And then when you reach your desired width, you want to go ahead and do that plus 6 more stitches, and then you'll be ready to start your row 1. And now if you're doing your double crochet foundation stitches, you don't need those as many bonus chains at the end. So you just want to do multiples of 24, 24, 24, and once you've gotten your width that you want, then go ahead and just double crochet foundation stitch 4 more, and then you'll be ready to begin row 2 because you've already done your row of double crochets. Okay, once you have your multiples of 24, then you want to go ahead and do that plus 6, and then you're ready for row 1. For row 1, you want to start by double crocheting in the 3rd stitch from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3, and in this 3rd stitch, put a double crochet. Now you want to put a double crochet in all your stitches down your row. So go ahead and do that. Do 1 double crochet in all your chains down your row, and I'll see you when you get back here. Okay, I just reached the end, and I wanted to show you that between the whole little section of between your swirls, you'll have a row of double crochets. Just to add a little extra color if you wanted to, you can do those double crochets using a different color, which would mean on the very first row, you can change this color to a different color if you want. But I thought mine looked better just having it all one color, so I stuck with that. Okay, for row 2, you want to chain 5 and turn. Now this chain 2 will count as the very first double crochet and chain 2. So you're going to want to skip 2 stitches. So since this one does count as the first stitch, you want to go over to the next stitch of the row and count 1, 2. So this 3rd stitch over, you want to do a double crochet. Now the repeat for this row is really easy. You want to chain 2, skip 2, and then double crochet in that 3rd stitch over. So chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet in that 3rd stitch over. So go ahead and do that for all of row 2, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, I'm getting down to the last few stitches here. And you should end perfectly with double crocheting in that very last stitch. Okay, for row 3, you want to chain 3 and turn. And that beginning chain 3 will count as the first stitch. So now we're going to be working in our chain 2 spaces and in our double crochet. So you're going to put 2 double crochets worked in this chain 2 space and 1 double crochet worked in the double crochet. And this is going to be repeated till you have 22 double crochets in a row. And you'll be using up 7 of your blocks, 7 of your chain 2 spaces. So I'm going to keep putting 2 double crochets in each of my chain 2 spaces and 1 in my double crochet until I get at least 7 of my blocks filled up. I keep saying blocks, but I mean my chain 2, and you also want that double crochet after your block. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I need 1 more. Then you always want to put that in that double crochet right after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me see how many I have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22. So I have 22 stitches, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my little block spaces. And that's going to be one whole swirl section. After that, you want to chain 2, and then you'll skip these next 2 chain 2 spaces, and working in that next double crochet, you'll put a double crochet. And now you're going to repeat what you did right here. You're going to do your next set of 22 stitches. So that first double crochet here is 1, then you'll put 2 in this first block, so that's 3. Put 1 in the double crochet. So continue to do that until you have 7 blocks used and 22 stitches. Got a little hair there. I hope you're having a good day today. I can't see or hear you, but I'm thinking about you. Okay, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's easier to count your blocks first. If you have, so this is my 7th block, and you always want to put a double crochet worked in that. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, so I got my next set. So then you're going to chain 2 again, skip the next, and then put it in the double crochet. And you'll continue that for your whole row until you get to your ending chain 5 here. And you're going to put, you're going to put 2 double crochets worked on the chain, and then you want to count up 3 on your chain, 1, 2, 3, and in this third chain up, you're going to put another double crochet. And that will end row 3. Okay, for row 4, you're going to chain 3 and turn. And your chainings, your turning chain will always count as a stitch. So you have your chain 3, and now you want to put a double crochet in your next 3 double crochets, giving you 4 double crochets in a row, or 3 double crochets in your beginning chain, so 4 stitches in a row. Then you're going to chain 2 and double crochet in this first double crochet after your chain 2 space. Then you're going to chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet in the next. And you're going to repeat that, chain 2, skip 2. You want to have 5 spaces in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3 spaces right now. So we're going to chain 2, skip 2. That'll give us our 4th space. Chain 2, skip 2. And this gives us our 5th space. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. And now we want to have 3 double crochets after this last double crochet that you have, giving you 4 double crochets in a row. And then you'll do your chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, and again you want to do 3 more double crochets, so you have 4 double crochets in a row. And that's the end of the repeat for this row. So you have your 4 here, which is basically going to be your side border. So you have 5 spaces, and then you have 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets. So now you want to repeat, starting with this first space, and remember you want to have 5 spaces. So you're going to chain 2, skip 2, and then double crochet. That's your first space. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. That's your second space. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. That's your third space. Chain 2, skip 2. This is your fourth space. Chain 2, skip 2, and that's your fifth space. Making your fifth space creates a double crochet. Remember, next you need 4 double crochets in a row, so you have 1 already. So you just need to make 3 more double crochets in a row. So you'll do 3 double crochets, giving you that 4 in a row. Chain 2, skip 2, and then you're going to want to do your next 4 double crochets in a row, and you'll continue that all the way to the end, and you should end just like I do perfectly when you're doing your last 4, and then you'll put your ending double crochet in your beginning chain space. And that's how you'll do row 4. Okay, so for row 5, you chain 3 and turn. The row 5 again counts as your very first stitch, and you're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Counting this first beginning chain, you have 4 stitches. Now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do 4 double crochets worked in these 4 double crochets. Okay, then you're up to your 5 spaces here, and you want to chain 2 and skip over to your, skip the chain 2 space and double crochet in this first space. Now you want to do 10 stitches in a row, or use up 3 of your spaces here. So the first stitch in your double crochet is 1. Then you'll put 2 in this chain 2 space, 1 in the double crochet, and continue. So we got 1, then you'll have your stitch 2 and 3 in the chain 2 space, 4 in your double crochet, then stitches 5 and 6 will be in the chain 2 space, 7 in your double crochet, 8 and 9 we worked in the next 2 chain, the chain 2 here, and then stitch 10 will be worked in that double crochet, and you'll be using 3 for your little blocks here. And then you'll repeat that for the round. And you start with the very first stitch, so you're going to need 4 in a row, then chain 2, skip 2, 4 in a row. So let's start with that. So chain 2, skip 2, and then start putting your 4 double crochets in a row. Then chain 2, skip 2, and do that again. Put 4 double crochets in a row. Just like we did here. We're repeating the pattern. Now again, you'll want to chain 2, and you'll put your first of 10 stitches in that very first double crochet. Now remember, you're going to be using 3 blocks and you'll have 10 stitches total. That's stitch number 1. So stitch number 2 and 3 goes into the chain 2. And you'll continue and to repeat this pattern down your row. And I'm about to come up to the end and I'll show you how to end. Okay, I got my 10 stitches worked over my 3 blocks. Now to end your row, you'll chain 2, and then you'll come over here and put your 4 double crochets worked in the end. So 3 double crochets and then 1 double crochet worked in your ending chain to end your row. And that ends row 5. Okay, for row 7, and row 7 is super easy. So chain 3 and turn, and now you want to work double crochet in these first 3 double crochets. Like I said, the chain 3 at the beginning counts as your first stitch. So then you want to chain 2, skip 2, and then you'll be putting 4 double crochets in a row again. And that is going to be your repeat for the entire row. It's just going to be chain 2, skip 2, and then put 4 double crochets in a row. Sorry about that honking out there. Hope you heard me. Not, just in case, I'll tell you again. The repeat is simply chaining 2, skip 2, and doing 4 double crochets in a row. And you're going to keep repeating this for all of row 7. Once you have your 4, again you'll chain 2, skip 2, and do your 4 double crochets in a row. So continue to do this for your full row, and I'll see you when you get to the end. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is row 6. So at the end of row 6, after your last 4 double crochets in a row, chain 2, skip 2, and then you're going to put your 3 double crochets worked in your double crochets, and then your 4th double crochet worked in the top of the chain 3 for 4 double crochets in a row. And that will end row 6. Okay, for row 7, you want to chain 3 and turn. And you'll put a double crochet worked in those first 3 double crochets. And then we're going to do a little bit like we did before, but we're going to do it a little earlier. So remember when we did 10 double crochets in a row, we're going to do that again. So first you'll chain 2, and then in your next double crochet after the chain 2, that'll be your first double crochet. You want 10 in a row. So this will be 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 will be worked in the chain 2 space. 7, 8, 9, and 10 is the last one in this area here. Now you'll chain 2, skip 2, and you'll put 4 double crochets in a row. Oh, I think I ran out of yarn here. Whichever 4 double crochets, you'll chain 2, and then you'll do that again on the other side. You'll do 4 double crochets. So you'll have your 10, then you'll have your 2 double crochet sections here. Let me grab a little bit more yarn here so I'm not having to do it constantly. Okay, so now we're going to repeat what we did here. So you're going to start off by chaining 2, skip over these chain 2, and this first double crochet here, we'll start with our 10 double crochets in a row. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are worked in the chain 2 space, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. And every time you have your 10 in a row, then you're going to want to do the chain 2 space, 4, chain 2 space, 4. So you'll always have these 2 4s in between your 10s. So we just did our 10, so now we want to do our 2 sets of 4. So you'll chain 2, skip 2, and do 4 double crochets in a row. Then again you'll chain 2, and you'll do your 4 double crochets in a row. And then if you were continuing here, then you chain 2 and do your 10 again. But since I'm on the end of my row, as you can see, it'll end perfectly with my second set of 4 stitches worked in there, and that'll end row 7. Okay, for row 8 you'll chain 3 and turn, and you'll put 3 double crochets and the next worked one double crochet in the next 3 stitches to get your 4 stitches in a row here. And then you'll chain 2, you'll skip 2, and then you want to double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Hold on a second. Okay. Then after that, you're going to be working your sets of, you want to be making your 5 sets like you did here, your 5 little blocks in a row. So we're going to do that now. So you'll chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. That's 1. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. That's 2. Chain 2, skip 2, that's 3. Chain 2, skip 2, that's 4. Then chain 2, skip 2, and that's 5. Get your 5 spaces in a row. Then we're going to do our 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets. So we have our first double crochet there, so we're going to put a double crochet worked in the next 3, giving us our first little 4 block of double crochets. Then chain 2 and do that again for your next 4 stitches here. Do 4 double crochets worked in these 4 double crochets. And that is going to be the repeat. Now you'll do your next set of 5. So you'll chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. And you'll do this till you have 5 blocks. So this will be my 5th, which is one of the double crochets. So you'll continue this down your row. You'll now do your next set of 4, chain 2, 4, and then you'll do your 5 blocks again, and continue that for the row. And then when you get to the end of your row, you just double crochet in the next 2, and then in your top of your chain 3 to create your 4 block there on the end. And that will end row 8. Okay, for row 9, you want to chain 3 and turn. And now you want to double crochet in your next 22 stitches which should take you, whoops, I think my camera got messed up here, which should take you all the way over to this middle line. You see that runs all the way through? That's the space that separates your swirls. As you can see, there's swirls now. This is the basic row. So you're going to be double crocheting all the way over until this last double crochet on this 4 section here. Then you'll chain 2, skip over, and then you'll do another 22. And that's going to be your repeat for the row. So we're going to start by putting our 3 double crochets in our double crochets, and then you'll put your 2 double crochets in your chain 2 space, then a double crochet in your double crochet, then a double crochet, 2 double crochets in your chain 2 space, double crochet in your double crochet 2 in your next chain 2 space, then double crochet 2 in your next chain 2 space, then double crochet in your next 2 chain 2 space, and then now that you've reached your 4 double crochets on this end, and you've done those 4 double crochets, then stop and count. Should have 22 stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, so now we're going to keep this line going here. So we'll chain 2, skip 2, then we're going to start our 22 spaces, 22 stitches down the next spaces, just like we did here. And again, this is your little border here, so you know that your 22 stitch will be ending here on that last full 4 space. So then you'll chain 2, and then you'll double crochet in these ending 4 like you always do. So go ahead and continue to repeat that for row 9, and I'll see you here at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my row 9 here, and I'm just finishing those last double crochets and ending in my chain 3 space. So that's what it should look like, and that's basically the tip. Your swirl part is complete. Now we're going to be doing basically the border rows, which is the open one here and then the next double crochet area. So for row 10, it's going to be super easy. So you'll want to chain 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn. And you'll skip over 2 stitches, and you'll put a double crochet in this double crochet right before your chain 2 space. Then chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, and you'll repeat that for the row. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. So go ahead and do this really easy row 10, and I'll see you when you get to the end. Okay, so you finished with row 10, and now we're going to be doing row 11, which is the last row of the repeat. Row 1 is not counted as the first row of the repeat. 2 through 11. So we're going to be doing row 11 now. So what you want to do is chain 3 and turn. And you're going to put 2 double crochets in your chain 2 space. I'm going to do just like we did. Actually, it's going to be similar to this, but it's going to be full. You're not going to skip any spaces. So you'll put 1 double crochet in your double crochet, and you'll put 2 double crochets in your chain 2 spaces, and double crochet in your double crochet, and double crochet 2 in your chain 2 spaces. You'll continue this for the whole row of row 11, putting 2 double crochets in your chain 2 space and 1 double crochet in your double crochet. And to finish the end here with your chains, you'll put 2 double crochets worked on your chain 5, and then again count up 3, 1, 2, 3, and in that third chain up we'll put your double crochet, and that will end row 11, and that ends your repeat. Now I did a lot of testing for different borders because I was trying to put borders on all these Afghans, but I couldn't really find one that really looked good because the pattern itself was pretty good. I even tried putting like color in between, and I didn't like that either. The pattern was just, I thought, looked so cool that it didn't really need all that glitz and glam. So to continue, you want to repeat rows 2 to 11. So go ahead and back up the video to row 2, and I'll show you here how to begin the next set of swirls. Each swirl, as you can see, has a border that runs along the side. Let me get my Afghan part out. So as you can see, it'll have a space row on either side of your double crochets, which also creates like a natural border. And on the side, because you begin with a row of double crochets and you end with a row of double crochets. So I decided, well, maybe just to make it look cleaner on the side, that I would just put double crochets just on the side stitches. So I attached another color just to be able to show you a little bit, and to the same side stitch, first side stitch here, and then I just did my double crochets along the side. So that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, I grabbed another color here so I can show you a little easier. So what I did, and this is the bottom stitch, that's okay. So what you do is the very last stitch, you want to go ahead and slip stitch your color onto it. Then chain 1, and then I turned it to the side, and on the side stitch of this very last, you put 2 double crochets on there. And then I would move over to my next space, and I would put 2 double crochets in that stitch too. Then I move over to my next side stitch, 2 double crochets. And I did this for all my side stitches. Just move to the next side of your next double crochet and put 2 double crochets worked on that side. And you want to do this down your whole row because it's all going to be double crochets along the side. So just keep putting 2 double crochets like that all along all your side stitches. Let me get to the end real quick. Okay, here I am at the end, the very last row, which is also my row of double crochets. You'll put 2 double crochets worked into that last stitch just like you did at the beginning, and then you'll find the top of it, then slip stitch. And that's how I did my side borders. Then you repeat the same for the other side. So you want to chain 1 and cut your yarn here, and then go to the other side and do the same way. And I can see that I did this one going the other direction. So when you actually attach your yarn to the other side, make sure that this isn't because this is the back of the stitch. I really should have done on this side, but I'm not keeping this piece, so just a tip for you. So this is all your front stitches, so then you want to attach your yarn to work this way with your front stitches on the same side. That way everything looks neat, everything looks good. And that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to like and share this video. It helps me out so much. Also, if you want to find me on social media, I'm really active on Facebook. I share patterns, not just my own, but others, free patterns there every day and one sponsored link. And I'm also on Pinterest. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. It's really, really important if you want to stay tuned to, what's most up to date coming out for me. Newest pattern or a roundup. I do a roundup every other week. So I encourage you to sign up for that newsletter. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.